Guys, Colleen here. Welcome back. Doing a foundation routine for you all. So first, I like to shave my face. I know this sounds crazy, but I find shaving off the facial hair makes the application of my makeup much smoother. So I don't do this often, but when I do, yeah, you can see there is hair that I shave off. And after I have shaved my face, I go and wipe my face with a facial wipes just to get any dirt and whatever off my face, you know. And then I go in with my moisturizer. The favorite one that I love is the L'Oreal Hydragenius, and I just apply this, you know, generously all over my face and just rub it in, you know. And then after that, I go in with a primer. Because I have oily skin, I typically like to use a matte primer. The one I'm using is the WetnWild matte primer, and I really like this one. This primer really does work, and it's very affordable. I don't know if you can get this in Trinidad as yet, but I got mine for like $4 or something like that. But it's really good, and I just like rub that in the skin. It's like a lotiony consistency. I just rub that in the skin, you know. And after I've rubbed that in, I like to go in with another primer. I like to double prime, so I'm using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty primer. This has been a very popular primer. It's probably one of the most popular primers for 2019. I think it has dethroned Tatcha. It is a very good dupe for Tatcha, and I use this to like fill in whatever like texture I might have. So I use this basically to fill in under my eyes a little bit, and you know, wherever else, to give me that like smooth finish. And then I go in with my foundation. My fave is the Revlon Colorstay in the shade 375. I will list everything in the description below if I forget to mention a shade color or a shade color or any other item, you know. And I go in, I like to do my foundation depending on my mood, either with a brush as you see here, right? And I just start buffing it in. I don't really drag too much, it's more like buffing, you know. And I take it all the way down to the jawline, sometimes a little below the neck there, so that I don't have a mask on my face, and all up to the hairline. Don't forget, because you don't want that line there. It looks a little ridiculous. I've seen that happen to a lot of people, you know. And just buff that bad boy in. And on this side, for those who love a sponge and not much of a brush lover, right, I am using one of the AOA sponges. Forgive that it's very dirty. I didn't wash it at the point in time when I was using it, but I will wash it, you know, because you really should wash your stuff as regularly as possible to reduce bacteria on your face. So yeah, see, I'm just like taking the sponge and just buffing it, pressing it into the skin there, you know. And I'm going in with my concealer, right? And I like to use my concealer to highlight certain parts of my face, right? So for me, I actually do the sides of my nose to kind of like cut down on it. Is a little trick I kind of learned along the way. And I highlight underneath my eyes. I have to conceal my my eye bags there. And yeah, I use the shade Golden in the Maybelline Age Rewind, and I like the color of this concealer because it has the right amount of yellow. Yellow is a good brightening color. I also use this concealer to color correct my eyes, my eyelids. I use it on my eyelids, as you can see there, because my eyelids are still pretty dark, and I use that to color correct. And I'm going in with a Colourpop no filter concealer because the one that's just the right size to go down the bridge of my nose, and I use a little bit in the corners because it is a little brighter than the Colourpop the Maybelline concealer. It gives it a little more zhuzh, you know, a little more brightness. So after I go in, I blend it all out. I'm going back in the sponge on the side that I use the sponge. So I mean, you could use whatever tool you are comfortable with. I love both brush and sponge. It just depends on my mood and how quickly I want to finish my application. Sponges tend to be faster, but just for the purposes of this video, I am, you know, demonstrating the two for whoever might, you know, have a preference to a sponge versus using an actual brush. And you see there, it's starting to blend out nicely. Make sure you blend the edges out. And I do the same thing on this side with the brush, just trying to stipple in first and foremost the product on the eye and on the lower part of my eye there. So what I'm doing right now is trying to blend out the product as much as I can, and then I deal with the edges there, as you can see. Alright, so once I've blended that out all down the sides of my nose, yeah, I just press it in. It takes a while. Take your time, you know, it's not a race. And then I blend the rest of my face, you know, all the other sides. And then I go in with my setting powder. This is the Makeup Revolution Luxury Banana Powder. And in this video here, I am baking a little bit because I use two concealers and the day is pretty hot and I really don't want my makeup to budge. I don't want it to move. So I'm doing a little bakage, but I usually don't. When I don't have time, I just set my makeup. I don't bake. And this has the right amount of yellow without it being too yellow to like make my face look crazy. And then I dust it all away, as you can see here. Right, just buff it out, dust it away. Yeah, I know I look very ashy here, but that's okay. And then I go in with my Maybelline Fit Me powder. This is in the shade Medium Deep, right? And yeah, let me just, basically it's a loose powder, and I just buff everywhere else on the face, you know, just to reduce the amount of ashiness per se. Once I've done that, I start cleaning up my brows because we need to clean up the brows a little bit. I used to do brows first, but now I do brows kind of like after, because I find when I do brows first, product goes in my brows and my brows look weird. So I clean up the two sides, as you can see here, with a little foundation. I could actually go in with a liquid over the powder. Is not an issue for me. And then I take a concealer and I highlight right under the brow bone, you know, just to lift my brows a bit. And then I start filling in my brows, and I'm using a Colourpop brow pencil. I think this is in the shade Black. and brown. Yeah, I just brush them up, fill them in. Very simple. I don't do a lot to my brows, you know. And I repeat the same step on the other brow. I try to get them as close as possible to looking like sisters. Kind of hard to make them look like twins. I don't think, you know, your brows ever look like twins. At least mine don't, you know. I'm just filling in the front there, the little ball patches. And then I go in with my Caramia press powder. I got it a couple shades darker to bronze with. This is another economical trick you can use. I use the shade Chocolate just to bronze with, right? And I am just running that powder on the edges of my face, along my cheekbones, and along, yeah. And it's not like a contour. Bronzing is completely different from contouring. Bronzer is just adding warmth to the face. I usually skip contouring because I don't want my face to look very harsh, so I just bronze just to add some warmth. And yeah, like I said, I run it along my cheekbones, I run it along my jawline, you know, just to add that warmth. And I actually like this bronzer, believe it or not, from Physicians Formula. It adds the right amount of sheen. Like when you see my face in person, it looks so like skin like. I don't know, I'm moving away from the matte looks of late. I'm really liking this one. It's not like, it's barely noticeable, but then it gives the right amount of sheen, and I like the sheen. So I'm using an e.l.f. buffing brush to like buff this in, because it's a powder but then it's like a cream powder. I don't know how to explain the consistency of that product, but yeah, it's like a cream powder or cream to powder, you know. And then after I go in with a all over face powder, L'Oreal, I think this is in the shade N7, and I just kind of like marry the colors on my face together so it doesn't look too harsh. And the only thing I really stick to contouring is my nose, because it's so huge, you know, big nose girl problems. Yeah, so, and then I buff it in with my finger, and then I use a satin spray. This one's from WetnWild. It's not a matte spray, it's a radiant spray, so it kind of melts all the powders together to give it a less powdery look, which I like. Yeah, that's me fanning it. And whatever excess, I take the sponge and I just press it in. So you see it starts looking like skin, and then I go in with the blush in the same Physicians Formula kit. Again, it's a hint of blush but with sheen, but it looks so nice. It looks so nice on my skin. And I love this highlighter. This highlighter is goals. Like, they need to bring this out in a single compact. And I just press it in, buff it in with a sponge to diffuse the color. And I put a little bit on my nose because I want to bring forth my nose and make it look pointy, you know. And then I go in with another layer of setting spray, you know, and then I fix my hair. This day my hair needed to wash, but I didn't want to wash it and then step out, so I just decided to wrap my head. So I put on a stocking cap to protect it. And then I found this really nice scarf in my closet that I never used, and I tried to figure out how to wrap my hair because I am not a wrap specialist, you know. So it was a really big scarf, so I had to like flip it over and then try and twist it a little bit and then tie it. Yeah, that was me trying to figure out what to do, but eventually I got the hang of it. So after I tied it here, you know, it was to try and deal with the excess cloth. So I tied it tight, and then I was like, okay, you know what, let me just twist. Let me twist the ends, maybe that would work. You know, so I twist one end, you know, and then I went and I twist the other end, right, and then I twist it together, you know, and I continued twisting the excess fabric until it was one long twisty plait, right? And then I started wrapping it in a kind of a bun to the top of my head there. See, still wrapping. It was a lot of clothes. It was a lot of clothes. And I continued, and I really liked how the twist came out, especially with the pattern of the fabric. And then I just tucked the very end in the loops. It was quite secure, you know. So I pulled it in there, and I tucked it in there, and I tucked it in, and this thing did not budge. And this was a really good protective style for me to rock on that day because it was so very hot, you know. And basically that is it for my foundation routine. Thank you for watching, and until the next time, bye.